As the world mourns Pope Francis, history's most secretive transfer of power begins. White smoke, the path to a new pope, guides you through this momentous transition. We explain exactly what happens next, leading to the dramatic conclave vote. Learn how each ritual unfolds, what each tradition means, and why these ancient ceremonies still matter today. Follow along as the throne of St. Peter stands empty and a new chapter in church history begins. White Smoke, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Which country consumes the most coffee per person? Italy? Colombia? Somewhere else? I'm Mark Ellison, and on 5 daily trivia questions, I deliver fascinating facts and surprising statistics every weekday. Whether you're a history buff, science geek, or pop culture fanatic, there's something for everyone. 5 daily trivia questions and the biggest coffee drinkers, it's Finland, with the average Finn consuming over 26 pounds of coffee annually. 5 daily trivia questions.
Calaroga Shark Media.
From Rome, where we told the bosses we're covering the Vatican, but we're actually just eating pizza, this is Ballot.
That's right. When the bosses said, "Do you want to go to Italy to cover this?" I didn't even stop home for a change of clothes. Let's hit this. President Trump announced he's going to Pope Francis's funeral. That's right. The former and current commander-in-chief is making his first international trip of term 2 to say goodbye to the pontiff. Trump posted on Truth Social, "Melania and I will be going to the funeral of Pope Francis in Rome. We look forward to being there." Because nothing says solemn occasion like an exclamation point at the end of your funeral, RSVP. The Pope once wrote to Trump, hoping Americans would build a society where there's no room for hatred, discrimination, or exclusion. Meanwhile, Trump's immigration policy was basically hatred, discrimination, and exclusion. So I guess we'll see Trump in St. Peter's Square this week, standing there thinking, "Nice place, but have you seen my golden escalator?" The Vatican is buzzing with speculation about who will get the big hat and fancy chair. There's Cardinal Pierbattista Pizzaballa, the Vatican's top Middle East expert. He's only 60 years old, which in Pope years is practically a teenager. He'd be the first Italian Pope since 1978, back when disco was still a thing and altar boys wore bell-bottoms. Then there's Cardinal Pietro Parolin, who's been Francis' right-hand man since 2013. He speaks 4 languages and is apparently the mastermind behind better relations with China. He's like the Vatican's version of Henry Kissinger, but with better fashion sense. How about Cardinal Fridolin Ambongo from Congo? Francis always talked about going to the peripheries, which is Vatican code for places that aren't Europe. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle from the Philippines is nicknamed Chito and has been called the Asian Francis. Cardinal Matteo Zuppi of Italy is so progressive, he wrote the preface for a book about ministering to gay people. Cardinal Peter Erdo of Hungary is for the traditionalists who miss the old days. And lastly, there's Hillary Clinton, who might also be gunning for the nomination. After all, she's been trying to break that glass ceiling for years, and this one comes with its own bulletproof Pope-mobile. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem got robbed while eating dinner at a D.C. restaurant Sunday night. A thief swiped her bag containing her driver's license, medication, apartment keys, passport, DHS access badge, makeup bag, blank checks, and $3,000 in cash. The Secret Service reviewed security footage and saw some masked guy take her bag and walk right out. They've launched an investigation because, that's probably important when the person in charge of Homeland Security loses their access badge. A DHS spokesperson said Noem had her entire family in town, including her children and grandchildren, and was using the cash withdrawal to treat them to dinner, activities, and Easter gifts. Noem has that look on her face like someone had shot her dog. But then you remember, oh wait, that wasn't someone else. That was actually her who shot her own dog. An American citizen and his wife get detained at the border after a casual weekend trip to Canada. Because nothing screams welcome back to America like being handcuffed for driving a Range Rover. So this guy Bachir Atala and his wife Jessica were just trying to come home after visiting family in Canada. They pull up to the Vermont border checkpoint, and suddenly they're getting the full premium membership experience, complete with complimentary handcuffs and the separate luxury accommodations, also known as cells. When Bachir asked why he was being detained, the officer put his hand on his gun. You know, that universal signal for, I'd rather not have this conversation right now. Then they took his phone, took his belongings, and never bothered to explain why any of this was happening. Customs and Border Patrol called his story blatantly false and sensationalized, which is exactly what you want to hear from government officials handling your civil liberties. Meanwhile, we've got President Trump threatening to send certain U.S. citizens to offshore prisons, but not us. We support President Trump because President Trump is awesome and we support him. Where was I? The whole ordeal lasted until 11 p.m., and the first thing they said when they got in their car, "Thank God we're safe," in Arabic, which, given the current climate, probably would have gotten them detained for another 4 hours if anyone had heard them. White smoke. The path to a new pope explores humanity's most elaborate and secretive transfer of power, a process now unfolding following the death of Pope Francis. This series reveals the hidden rituals, ancient traditions, and behind-the-scenes drama of papal transition. As the Catholic world enters this solemn period of mourning and anticipation, join us in witnessing how the Church has perfected this sacred process over 2,000 years and what happens in these crucial days when the throne of St. Peter stands empty. White Smoke brings listeners inside the conclave that will determine who will succeed Pope Francis and lead the Church into its next chapter. White Smoke, wherever you get your podcasts. Ever notice how the villains often steal the show? All this week, 5 Daily Trivia Questions celebrates these scene stealers with a special Villains Week event. Host Mark Ellison will take you on a journey through the fascinating world of antagonists, from the methodical Hannibal Lecter to the magical Maleficent, the calculating Moriarty to the chaotic Joker. What, no electric car manufacturers? Each day brings 5 new questions about the characters that push our heroes to their limits, and sometimes make us question which side we're really on. Whether you're a pop culture expert or just appreciate a good antagonist, Villains Week offers something for everyone. It's the perfect blend of entertainment and education that 5 Daily Trivia Questions is known for. It's Villains Week on 5 Daily Trivia Questions, available wherever you get your podcasts. Because sometimes it's good to be bad. Two Chinese prisoners of war just held a press conference in Kyiv, and let me tell you, their Russian military recruitment experience makes Amazon warehouse jobs look downright luxurious. 34-year-old Wang Guangjun claims he went to Russia thinking he'd be a rehabilitation therapist, only to find himself dodging Ukrainian drones on the front lines. He couldn't even take a bathroom break without an armed guard following him around. Talk about performance anxiety. Wang says escape was impossible. Russia is filled with military police. Even if you try to run, there is nowhere to go. It's like the world's worst vacation package. Come to Russia for the job opportunities. Stay because we're pointing guns at you. The other captive, 27-year-old Zhang Renbao, says he was promised a monthly salary of around $3,400. But Wang claims he never even saw a paycheck. That's right, Russia apparently found the one employment situation worse than unpaid internships. And remember, kids, if a job offer sounds too good to be true, it probably involves getting shot at in a foreign country. Former Obama aide Tommy Vietor is absolutely done with Joe Biden. And can you blame him? Biden finally emerged from retirement to give his first big speech. And what did he talk about? Social Security. Because nothing says I'm still with it, like discussing retirement benefits. Now, Viator went on Pod Save America and basically said what we're all thinking. Thanks for your service, Joe, but please, stop talking. He didn't actually say stop talking. What he really said was, I don't want to hear him giving speeches right now. Which in political speak is the equivalent of changing the channel when your ex appears on TV. He's been reading Jake Tapper's upcoming book about how Biden's team apparently worked overtime to hide his decline. The book is called Original Sin. which seems a bit dramatic. I mean, aging isn't exactly original. It's literally the oldest story in human history. Brian Tyler Cohen chimed in about our party's gerontocracy problem, which is a $5 word for too many old people. He basically said the last thing Democrats need is to keep handing microphones to the senior citizen wing of the party, when what we really need is generational change. Viator agreed, saying Democrats need to look forward, not backwards. Wait until the Pod Save America guys find out they're famous for working with Obama, which is 4 presidencies ago. But sure, let's not look backwards. The kicker, Viator said, I get that he's giving speeches. It's probably paying the bills. I'm guessing Tommy said that right before reading a spot for ZipRecruiter. Portions of today's program were made with the help of Pod Save America, the AI bots reading that we support President Trump, and some Chinese soldiers.